Hello friends, let's discuss today's set of questions and today we're going to discuss around 27 questions. But as is the case with all our sessions, we are going to discuss a few of these questions in great detail. I suggest you write as much as you can. Here's the first question in today's session. Volker Turk has recently been appointed as the next UNHCHR, that is, or Human Rights Commissioner basically. And he's from Austria. He's from Austria. Now, I want you to know that the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights is a pretty controversial body in the sense that a lot of countries around the world don't give much weightage the reports brought out by this organization. And in that sense, Turk has not been welcomed in many parts of the world. See, many people he has not received a positive reception from human rights organizations, and he has not received a positive reception from those countries that engage in human rights abuses. This will seem to be quite a double whammy, but that's the case because human rights organizations say that he's not strong enough. He's not, he's not someone who's going to bring, who's going to come down heavily on countries like China, which often engage in abuse of human rights abuses. Now, coming to the organization, the countries that engage in human rights, they have not welcomed Turk because they believe that Turk is, often goes overboard. Now, this is a serious discrepancy from what, there are two kinds of accusations. One that he's not serious, one that he's over serious. Another is that he was over serious. Now, let's see how he performs. And the proof of the pudding is in eating it, isn't it? Let's see how he does. Now, he's from Austria and he succeeds Michelle Bachelet. Michelle, M-I-C-H-E-L-L-E, I'm not going to write today. M-I-C-H-E-L-L-E, Michelle Bachelet or Bachelet, B-A-C-H-E-L-E-T. She is a former president of Chile, a socialist, you could say left-winger. And she was quite castigated. I'm using some words which may sound difficult, but I'll use another word of following that. Following a difficult word, I would use a simple word so that you understand both. Castigated. She was severely castigated, criticized by human rights organizations for going soft on China. Recently, she visited China that was her last official tour as the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. She visited China, and it is believed that she did not put enough pressure on the Chinese government to stop abuses, especially of democracy activists and the people in Xinjiang province, where millions of Muslims have been jailed for no fault of theirs. But it is, she's come out and in her last report, she came down quite heavily on China. She criticized China. She said that most likely, this is the phrasing, most likely China is engaging in forced labor. She said that China is engaging in incarcerating, imprisoning people who are innocents. So as of today, Turk has come in, succeeding Bachelet. Let's see how he works, how he does things. But as is the case, things are going pretty bad on the human rights front in China, in Europe, large parts of Europe, because there is ongoing abuse of Indians in Britain, ongoing abuse of blacks in large parts of Europe. Then there is this community of Roma who are the gypsy nomadic community, but they are not welcome in any European country. So while the Europeans always teach human rights to us, they don't treat Roma people quite well. Yeah. Now coming down to the countries here, I'll just give the names of the capitals of these places because nothing beyond the capital would be sufficient here, would be needed here. Poland's capital is Warsaw, W-A-R-S-A-W, Warsaw. Belarus, Minsk, M-I-N-S-K, Minsk. Austria, Vienna, V-I-E-N-N-A, Vienna. Then Latvia, Riga, R-I-G-A, Riga. Bulgaria is in Eastern Europe, and Bulgaria's capital is Sofia, S-U-F-I-A, Sofia. Okay. Next. Padma Vibhushan awardee B.B. Lal, Brij Basi, B-R-I-J, Brij Basi, B-A-S-I, Brij Basi Lal. Technically speaking, the person belonging to, Brij Vrindavan, basically, the beloved of that homeland, basically. Yeah. Brij Basi Lal passed away recently. He was a former Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India, and he was the ASI DG between 1968 and 72. 68 and 72. I want you to know something here, that he came out with detailed research. He came out with detailed research on two major things. One, he said that below the Babri Masjid there was a Hindu temple, because he found evidence of the Hindu temple columns, pillars and all that, which had the pratimas, the idols, of Hindu deities. And second thing he came out with was that he said there is nothing called the Aryan migration. In fact, the AIT, it's called Aryan migration theory, never was true. He said this was a theory proposed by the British to say that Aryans came from outside India, and before that Indians didn't know civilization. It was Aryans who had come from outside India who brought civilization to us, and that the Aryans subjugated, suppressed the locals called the Dravidians. Now, recent research proves that the Aryan migration theory is wrong, because Aryans, there were no people technically Aryans, but they were all natives of India. Now, how do we know this? If you would if you would read the articles by Dr. Niranjan Mishra, I think that's his name, he's a scientist, geneticist. You should read him. He would give you a lowdown on why this entire theory is wrong. And he has done groundbreaking research. It's not something that, he's a historian. He's a geneticist. And someone who understands the science of genetics. He has done intense research lasting a few years, in fact, at more than a decade, on decoding the DNA of the people who lived in those times. So, and he has, he's matched the DNA of the people living in Central Asia, people living in Persia, today's Iran, and he has come to this conclusion. And not just him, this study has been vetted, VETTED, proved, has been checked by researchers from Harvard University, Stanford, from Massachusetts, from London, from Oxford University. So a lot of people around the world have checked this theory, and the research by him shows the natives, the Aryans and the Dravidians were all natives of India. Yeah. So let's hope earlier he worked for Center for DNA Fingerprinting and Diagnostics. I think he also worked for CCMB, which is a Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology in Hyderabad. So let's hope his research reaches wider audience and everything is proved beyond doubt. Now, I'll not get into these choices here. Let's go past this. Which country has recently passed a law allowing itself to carry out a preventive nuclear strike, including in the face of conventional attacks? Conventional attacks they're non-nuclear in, origin, non-nuclear in practice. So, Air Force, that is artillery, bombing, air bombing and all, that would be conventional attacks. Conventional attack. But unfortunately, North Korea says if any country would dare attack us, we reserve a right to use nuclear weapons. That's a dangerous thing. You see this here, the missiles of North Korea at the bottom, the range. You see this last one. The KN-908 has a range of 11,500 kilometers, my friends, which would mean that it can reach almost the entire United States. See this is the range H. This is, except for Florida, it can reach all parts of United States, all. I mean, this is a major danger. Yeah. So this is North Korea here. This is North Korea, and the south one is Southern Korea. That is South Korea. Sorry. People say North Korea is located north of South Korea, which is true, isn't it? This is Alaska and this is Hawaii. United States is made of 48 continuous states, then Alaska and Hawaii. Now you may wonder, the whole of Alaska is almost as big as the 48 states of America. Remember, at the poles, the Earth becomes smaller. The Earth becomes smaller. It becomes an oblate spheroid, which means that the places at the top are smaller, but when you flatten, when you take the top and you open it and flatten it, it becomes wider. So remember, in most maps, flat maps that you find, Mercator maps they are called, Mercator maps show Alaska, Canada, Greenland to be much, much larger than they are. In fact, you would find that Greenland is shown to be much larger than the Republic of India. We are, larger than Greenland by 50%. Greenland's area is 21 lakh square kilometers, ours is 32 lakh square kilometers. Okay, so we are larger, but in the Mercator flat earth map, you'll find that Greenland is almost 4 times India's size. Okay, so don't go by that. It's a flat earth map. It's called a Mercator map. Now, I want you to know one more thing. North Korea historically has been a communist country. Since 1945, it has been a communist country. In 1945, it came under Soviet influence. And from 45, that is the end of the Second World War, from 45 till date, it's been a communist country, a single party dictatorship, a single party totalitarian state. North Korea's capital is Pyongyang, Pyongyang, Pyongyang. And the leader of North Korea, there is no president, he calls himself leader because he says, my father who's dead is the president for life. So the president for life is a dead guy, But this guy's name is Kim Jong-un. You'll be familiar with the name. Kim Jong, Jong-un. Kim Jong-un is the leader of North Korea. See, in China, there is a Communist Party of China. It's called CPC, but generally written as CCP, Communist Party of China. In North Korea, there is a Workers' Party. Workers' Party, that is the ruling party. In any case, North Korea is under heavy sanctions. It's been under sanctions since 2006. Ever since it carried out its first nuclear test. That was much earlier than that, but yeah, anyway, 2006. Chalo, I think the rest of the countries, rest of the choices here. There are sanctions against Iran as well, and that is because Iran has not come clear on its pursuit of nuclear weapons. The Western countries and the European Union have accused Iran of pursuing a nuclear weapons program in a secret way. Whereas Iran says, no, we have nothing to hide. You want to come and check our nuclear plants? You're most welcome. But of course, when the inspectors from the International Atomic Energy Agency come to Iran, the Iranians, they act cranky. They often close certain nuclear reactors, nuclear plants, where it is believed they are carrying out bomb building activity. Okay, so I want you to know what has years of sanctions done to North Korea. North Korea is a communist country, a closed country, single party country. No freedoms are given to people. North Korea is about 1.25 lakh square kilometers. It's pretty small, much smaller than Gujarat. See, this is North Korea. This is Japan. This is South Korea and this is North Korea. There is no electricity in North Korea. See this point here? This is the capital, Pyongyang. It's the only place that's lit here. See this entire place at night is, entire country except the capital, Pyongyang, every other place is shut off. Yeah, you look at this particular place. This is South Korea, and this area you see here, that's Seoul, Seoul, the capital of South Korea. Seoul, the E is silent. Yeah, so it's North Korea is suffering a great deal, my friends. This is Beijing. India's President Draupadi Murmu has recently launched the Pradhan Mantri Tuberculosis Mukt Bharat Abhiyan to eliminate tuberculosis from the country by 2025. Now, if we are successful in eliminating TB by 2025, it would mean that we would have done this 5 years ahead of the Sustainable Development Goal of 2030. Sustainable Development Goal 2030, it says that there shall not be TB in the world, but we plan to achieve that 5 years in advance. Now you need to understand something here, that tuberculosis is an infectious disease. This infectious disease is caused by a bacterium, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. That's the name, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Second thing I want you to know is that TB was in the past called consumption, Consumption. Consumption, the P is silent. Consumption meant that there was no cure and it would eat people from within. That is, they would lose weight, and that is why it would be eating within. That's what it means, consumption. So this is how people died in the past. Lot of cough, lack of treatment, and people would die because of weight loss, dehydration, associated problems like fever, rashes, and all that stuff. Now, while TB is said to infect lungs, it can infect any other part of the body. Please know that. Fair? India has the world's highest TB population. 27% of the world's TB patients are in India. 1 in 4 global patients is in India. The second is China with 9% of the global cases. Indonesia comes in the third place with 7%. But if you take China and Indonesia's numbers put together, they won't come anywhere close to what the number of TB patients in India. So we have the world's largest TB population, TB infected population. I want you to write one more thing, that the government, along with launching this particular Abhiyan, has also launched Nikshay, N-I-KSHAY, Nikshay Mitra scheme. It's a project actually. To support those, if you want to write, to support those who are undergoing treatment for TB, okay. Yeah. Then, so 27% of the world's TB population is in India. Remember this. Identify the third stealth guided missile frigate that was recently launched under Project 17A and built by Majgaon Dock Builders for the Indian Navy, Taragiri. You could write this Project 17 dash to build stealth guided missile frigate. Stealth guided missile frigate dash project cost rupees 25,000 crore. Project cost rupees 25,000 crore dash 4 ships. So the idea is to build 4 ships at a total cost of 25,000 rupees. Okay. Next, first ship called INS Nilgiri to INS Udayagiri Look at choice 4, sorry 5. Udayagiri. Next, INS Taragiri. INS Taragiri. Next, fourth one is yet to be announced. You could write it. Yet to be announced. Yet to be announced. So we are going to put surface to surface missile system on this frigate. We are going to put anti-ship cruise missiles. So plenty of stuff will be put on these things. Yeah, these ships. Which country, also one of the 14 Commonwealth members, to have one of the 14 Commonwealth members to have the British monarch, as the head of the state, has recently announced that it would hold a referendum on becoming a republic within the next 3 years. Antigua and Barbuda. This is Antigua. Antigua, Barbuda. How big are these places? If you want to write, just to give you an idea, right? Antigua and Barbuda, it's one country, 2 separate islands with a small set of, small number of islands. Okay, number 2, one is, we mentioned that Antigua and Barbuda, underline that, right, comprises 2 main islands, and several small islands. Next, capital, it's not mentioned here. St. John's, JOHN''S, John's. Next, capital St. John's. Freedom from UK. 1981. Next, how big is it? About 440 square kilometers, my friends. 440 square kilometers, and a population of 1 lakh. The total population is 1 lakh. And you know what? 97% of this 1 lakh population is on the island of Antigua. I think that's it. Yeah, Prime Minister. Gaston Brown. Gaston, Gaston. Gaston Brown, Browne. Brown. Gaston Brown. Now, 81, it got independence from Britain, but since then they have been itching to get rid of the Queen, get rid of the British monarch as the head of their own country. See, a lot of countries in the world, 14 to be precise, have the British monarch as the head of their own country. Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Jamaica, Belize, Belize, it's in Central America, Belize, you have Papua New Guinea, all these countries, they have the British monarch as the head of their own country. And some of them say that we don't want the British monarch to represent us. We want to have our own head of state. It's a president in this case. Let's see how it works out, because as of now, things are pretty volatile in the British royal household. And what are the capitals of these places? Canada's capital is Ottawa, Ottawa, Ottawa. Next, Jamaica. This is Jamaica. You can see it here. Jamaica. What's the only one here? Kingston, Kingston, Kingston. Next, Canada, Ottawa, Jamaica, Kingston. After revising that, those two. Australia, Canberra, Canberra, Canberra. Next, Papua New Guinea, it's in East Asia. Papua New Guinea dash Port Moresby. Port, P-O-R-T, Port Moresby, M-O-R-E-S-B-Y. Whom the following persons was recently proclaimed as the British new monarch, the new British monarch after the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Charles III. Charles III. I want you to read one story about Charles I. How Charles I was killed by the English Parliament. Check it out. The British Parliament killed the king. How? Read the story. Why? Read the story. Yeah. Former Union Minister of State for Defense and External Affairs and notable actor Krishnam Raju passed away recently. He was associated with Telugu films. He acted in over 183 films, my friends. Over 183 films, majority of which were in Telugu. And you should know that he was a minister of Home Affairs, no, External Affairs, Minister of External Affairs. I'm talking at state level. Minister of State for External Affairs, and he was there at the BJP, and sometime later he joined the Praja, what is it called? Praja Rajyam Party, PRP, in Andhra Pradesh. It was launched by Telugu's film superstar Chiranjeevi. But unfortunately, while he contested this election on the PRP ticket, Praja Rajyam Party, he could not win. He did not win. So Krishnam Raju was associated with Telugu films. He has won multiple awards, Filmfare Awards, I think 5 Filmfare Awards, 3 Nandi Awards, some numbers like that. He was nicknamed Rebel Star. Rebel Star. Filmmakers Jean-Luc Godard passed away recently. He was associated with French cinema. French cinema. Why don't you write this? French cinema. I'll give you the names of 2 titles. He is ranked among the top 3 directors ever. So you could write this. Godard made films like Breathless, 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 and Contempt, Contempt, Contempt. Then, while he was a great director, while he was very humble, he said that my movies are for everyone, though not everyone understood them. Okay. You should know that he was ranked at number 3 on the list of all-time great directors. Number 1, Orson Welles, Orsonwelles, Orson Welles. Number 2 was Alfred Hitchcock, and the number 3 is Jean-Luc Godard. Okay, so not much to discuss except that he has won practically every award in the world of film, including a 2010 honorary Oscar. 2010 he received an honorary Oscar from the Academy Committee, but he didn't go to accept it. Yeah. Which of the following Emmy Awards 2022 winners and categories are correctly matched? All of them are correctly matched. What's mentioned there are drama, comedy series, best actor for drama, and best actress for drama. I want you to write something here. Since for drama is mentioned, comedy is not mentioned, best actor, best actress, we'll write best actor for drama, best actor in a drama, dash, comment, best actress in a comedy. I'm so sorry, my friends. Best actress in a comedy, because drama is already mentioned, dash, Jason, Jason, Jason Sudeikis, 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 dash, For what? A series called Ted Lasso. Ted, T-E-D, Ted Lasso, L-A-S-S-O, Lasso, Ted Lasso. Next, best actress in a comedy series. Best actress in a comedy series. Dash. Jean Smart or John Smart. Jean. Jean. Smart. S-M-A-R-T. Smart. Dash. Film Hacks. H-A-C-K-S. Hacks. Okay. Next. Best actors are over. Both male and female. Right. Best director. Best director. Best director. Best for comedy. For comedy. MJ Delany. I repeat. MJ Delany. D-E-L-A-N-E-Y. Delany. For Ted Lasso. T-E-D-L-A-S-S-O. Ted Lasso. Next. Best director in a drama series. Best director in a drama series. I am writing here. Hwang. H-W-A-N-G. Hwang. Hwang. Dong. D-O-N-G. Dong Hyuk. Hwang Dong Hyuk. For Squid Game. For Squid Game. Squid Game. See, I also wrote this so that I have greater clarity. Squid Game. I haven't watched Squid Game. I switched it off after 2 episodes. Not my kind of thing, I thought. So I just left it there. Yeah. Now the Emmy Awards are always given for the best in American television programming. For the best in American television programming. Okay. Yeah. By the way, the highest number of wins were made by the White Lotus. The White Lotus. The new CEO and country manager for American Express Banking Corporation is Sanjay Khanna. Sanjay Khanna. Now, when you look at Visa, when you look at MasterCard, instantly card companies come to your mind. But American Express card is generally not given to, it's not like a mass product, but and it's a mega company. It's a $47 billion company. Last year, its sales were $47 billion. And ladies and gentlemen, that would make for 2 TCS. Yes, 2 TCS. That's the sale of this company. And you should also know that they have an India division also. Sanjay Khanna is the head of American Express in India. Then you could write Kunal Shah, founder CEO of, what is the name of the company? Cred, C-R-E-D, Cred. Samir Nigam, choice 2, CEO of PhonePe. Next, Vijay Shekhar Sharma, all of you know this name, and he is a Paytm founder. Next, Sajid Shivanandan. Right. Sajid Shivanandan, business head, GPay, Google Pay. Business head, Google Pay, P-A-Y. Which international institution in its recent report has stated that 50 million people worldwide are stuck in modern slavery. Now, how do we define modern slavery? How do we define slavery? See, modern slavery is widespread. It's present in almost all countries of the world, especially so in poor countries, as much in poor countries as in rich countries. You look at this data, you will know what I'm talking about. You see this here. 49.6, that is 50 million people, nearly 50 million people are, are engaged in modern slavery. Now you also need to understand something here, that this is quite widespread in especially high income and middle class. You see this, forget the lowest class, because here we are looking at upper middle and high income classes, and both together have a number higher than lower middle income countries. So there is a great deal of poverty everywhere, my friends. I want you to write something here. 50 million worldwide, yeah, right. Of this, of the 50 million people stuck in modern slavery, comma, 28 million, 1 million is 10 lakh, so 50 million is 5 crores. 5 crores. So 28 million is 2.8 crore. 28 million are forced to engage in you could say commercial and domestic activities dash a sort of forced labor. Next, another 22 million or 2.2 crore, another 2.2 crore or 22 million are trapped, TRAPPED, trapped in forced marriages, people see how is forced marriage slavery. It is slavery. What else is it? Yeah. So you will find that the incidence of poverty is higher in high income and upper middle income countries. See this? Yeah. So at the same time, the population, overall number of people who are stuck in poverty, forced labor, and every modern slavery has gone up by 10 million. The number has gone up by 10 million, my friends. That's 1 crore. In about 5 years, modern slavery has increased. Okay. Now, you look at the choices here, I guess. So I'll just mention ILO, International Labour Organization. I repeat, International Labour Organization dash Geneva, 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 and Geneva and what is this? Geneva and Director General is Guy Ryder, GUI, Guy Ryder, RIDER, Ryder, or RYDER, Guy Ryder of UK. UNHCR we discuss now. UNICEF Secretary General, they call Executive Director or Chief, simply write Chief. Catherine Russell. UNESCO, Audrey Azoulay, AUDREY, Audrey Azoulay, AZOULAY, Audrey Azoulay. Okay. 2 are enough. Which of the following forces recently conducted a 20-day long exercise named Parvat Prahar? The Indian Army did this in Ladakh. following some kind of sort of disengagement in, Ladakh. So you want to write anything about these people here? Yeah, Indian Army, we know that it's headed by General Manoj Pandey. Manoj Pandey, P-A-N-D-E, Manoj Pandey. Then CRPF is headed by Kuldeep Singh, K-U-L-D-I-E-P, Kuldeep Singh. Kuldeep Singh. Indian Air Force is headed by Air Marshal, what's his name? Air Chief Marshal Vivek Ram Chaudhary. Air Chief Marshal Vivek Ram Chaudhary. Border Security Force is headed by Pankaj Kumar Singh. Pankaj Kumar Singh. Next, National Security Guard. This is an elite force. It's headed by IPS officer W.A. Ganapathy. At which of the following places has Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently inaugurated the International Dairy Federation World Dairy Summit 2022 in India? Rather, when we say all are India, so Greater Noida, Greater Noida, Uttar Pradesh. Now, I wanted to write a couple of things here. World Milk Day, June 1st. Next, India largest producer of milk. Overall. When we say overall, it would include goat, buffalo, cow, all sorts of creatures, all sorts of, animals here in this case. Now coming to breaking this into parts, not just say milk would include goat, would include buffalo, would include cow. So some of these, India is not the largest producer. You could write India largest producer of goat and buffalo milk. Next, India second largest producer of cow milk. In brackets, number one is US. Next, India is the largest producer of milk, and you could also write leading exporter of skimmed milk powder. Skimmed, S-K-I-M-M-E-D, skimmed milk powder. Yeah. This is the theme for this year: dairy for nutrition and livelihood. Okay. Next, which of the following forces has recently, I think, please come back actually, sorry. Which country has successfully tested its first solar powered unmanned aerial vehicle? The H is silent, so it's vehicle, named Kim In-sing 50. Also capable of acting as a satellite. The Chinese government has come up with this particular solar powered UAV, which is pretty long, very wide actually, and it works on solar power. The choices, if you want to write, Vietnam, the prime minister is a communist country. China, it's a single party communist country. Vietnam's leader is Nguyen, Nguyen, Nguyen or Nguyen, pronounced Nguyen. Nguyen, that is Nguyen, Nguyen. Sure, Xuan, Phuc, Phuc, Guan Shuo Phuc, or you can pronounce it as, you can write interchange the last two words. Phuc could come before Xuan, and some, if you want to write Xuan first and then Phuc, your choice. That's it. Vietnam. And what about Japan's capital leader? Fumio Kishida. Fumio, Fumio, Fumio Kishida, Kishida, Kishida. Chalo. According to Cantor Brand Z India ranking, which company has emerged as India's most valuable brand in 2022? Tata Consultancy Services is India number 1, followed by HDFC Bank and Infosys. Number 1, TCS. Number 2, HDFC Bank. Number 3, TCS. Number 3, Infosys. So top 3 in India. You want 4 and 5? 4, Airtel. AIRTEL, Airtel. 5, Asian Paints. I have a terrible headache, so at times my eyes may close. Do not worry too much about it. Okay. Yeah, it's suddenly come in the course of the talk. I don't know. It happens, I think. So we have TCS, followed by HDFC Bank in the second place, and what is that? Infosys in the third place. Fourth is Airtel, fifth is Asian Paints. Fair? So these are the companies here. The European Parliament recently stated that Hungary can no longer be considered full democracy. In this context, which the following statements relating to Hungary as are true. See, this is Hungary and more or less East Asia, Central East Asia, Europe. This is surrounded by Romania. You see the choices, all the things are right here. Austria, this is Austria, okay. Slovakia, Ukraine, Romania. Now you have Greece here, Bosnia, Croatia, you have Serbia, this is Serbia, this is Croatia, and this is Slovenia. Okay, all are mentioned here. So if you want the capitals, I can tell you. And just before that, let me tell you something more. Hungary has always been a thorn, or rather Viktor Orban has always been a thorn in the side of the leftist Europeans. Viktor Orban is a rightist, a nationalist, and he says that I will not allow migrants from Muslim countries into my country. I will not let them settle here. European Union said that all countries will have to pitch in with certain quota, and whatever the number of migrants that could be settled in the Hungary will be decided by the European Parliament. This man said, nothing doing, it won't happen. You want to take them, you're free to take them in. We will not take them in. Second thing, he's pro-Russia. He's supported Russia in this case, and the Europeans, that they're not very happy with what Russia is doing in Ukraine. So overall, things are pretty bad there. Now, what are the capitals of these places? It's all mentioned here. Hungary's capital is Budapest. It's mentioned in the choices also. Croatia, Austria. Austria is home to Vienna, Vienna. This is Vienna, Vienna. Vienna, if you want to write, underline his name, pull it down arrow, right? Head office of International Atomic Energy Agency. International Atomic Energy Agency. International Atomic Energy Agency. Okay. Yeah. Croatia. This is Zagreb. This is Croatia. Zagreb. Zagreb. Romania, pretty large country here. Capital Bucharest. What is it? Bucharest. Bucharest. Serbia, where Novak Djokovic comes from. Yeah. Prime Minister is Alexander Vukic. Alexander. Oh no, I think we were just writing the capitals, no? Right. Belgrade. 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 Slovenia. It's here. This is a very tiny country. Yeah. Ljubljana. Let me spell it. Ljub. I repeat. Ljub. Ljub. JL. I repeat. JLANA. Ljubljana. Ljubljana. LJANA. Ukraine. It's mentioned there. Kiev. KYIV. Kiev. Kiev. So, see this part of Russia, but in Poland and Lithuania, it's called Kaliningrad. Kaliningrad otherwise. Kaliningrad. Which state has rolled out a midday meal scheme named Chief Minister's Breakfast Scheme for government school students from classes 1 to 5? Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu's Chief Minister is Muthuvel Karunanidhi Stalin. MK Stalin has launched this. Usually there is a midday meal scheme. The name suggests midday. That is, kids would have one good meal in the day. This is one of the fundamental reasons why a lot of people in rural areas come to schools. And this is also the target behind the launch of this scheme. That is, we need to have as many students in our classes as possible. We need to ensure that they don't drop out. Now, if schools close down these schemes, people will leave them. They will leave them, my friends. Because most poor people send their kids to education institutes primarily because they get a free meal, and two, they get access to education which they as parents themselves could not have access to. So they know that a lot of people value education pretty high. In fact, I value education pretty high. I believe that it's going to determine a lot of things in your life. The kind of growth you have, the kind of the kind of life you would lead. So we have Tamil Nadu there. Muthuvel Karunanidhi Stalin. That's about it, I guess. The Padmaja Naidu Himalayan Zoological Park has been adjudged the best zoological park in the country. This is in Darjeeling. It's in Darjeeling. This park, zoo rather, was opened in 1958. 1958. Now, this is named after Padmaja Naidu, whose claim to fame is two things. One, she was a freedom fighter, and she was also the governor of West Bengal between 1956 and 67. A full 11 years she was the governor of West Bengal, 1956 to 67. And you need to know that Padmaja Naidu was also, we said two reasons. Now, one is that 56, 57, and second is that she is the daughter of the great Sarojini Naidu. She's the daughter of great Sarojini Naidu. Yeah. So Padmaja Naidu, West Bengal governor, and of course a freedom fighter, plus the daughter of Sarojini Naidu. Yeah. National Engineers Day is celebrated on 15th September to commemorate the birth anniversary of Bharat Ratna Mokshagundam Visvesvaraya. His forefathers came from a village called Mokshagundam in Andhra Pradesh. The name stuck, Mokshagundam Visvesvaraya. Mokshagundam Visvesvaraya is said to be India's first civil engineer. And between 1912 and 1918, he was the Diwan of the state of Mysore. Diwan, D-I-W-A-N, Diwan. Okay. Who are the choices? What are the choices? By the way, Mokshagundam Visvesvaraya built a lot of things. You have the Bhadravati steel plant, You have this Krishna Rajasagar Dam, the flood system in Hyderabad, all were created by Vishwesvaraya Garu. Yeah, he received the Bharat Ratna in 1955. 1955. The same year, two more persons received the Bharat Ratna. 1955, two more persons apart from, of course, Vishwesvaraya ji. One was Jawaharlal Nehru, the other was Bhagwan Das. Bhagwan Das. Bhagwan Das was a theosophist, and he believed that rioting, burning buses and all that is not the legitimate, not the right form of protesting. Yeah. What about the choices here? Govind Ballabh Pant, he was the first Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, 1950 to 54. He was the first Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. Then he was made the Union Home Minister, and I mentioned this, that he was the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, the first one between 1950 and 54, and he received the Bharat Ratna in 1957. Bharat Ratna 1957, first Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, and Home Minister of India between 55 and 61 till his death. Okay, so what about the choices? Purushottam Das Tandon. Purushottam Das Tandon received the Bharat Ratna in 1961. 1961. He was, he was nicknamed UP Gandhi, Uttar Pradesh Gandhi. Uttar Pradesh Gandhi. And he was also nicknamed Rajarshi. Rajarshi. Raj Rishi is Rajarshi. He was considered a very upright person, a kind of saint, royal saint, Rajarshi. Yeah. Dhondo Keshav Karve was a freedom fighter who fought for the emancipation of widows and for their education as well as for their remarriage. Dhondo Keshav Karve received the Bharat Ratna in 1958. At the age of 100, Dhondo Keshav Karve received the Bharat Ratna. Age of 100. The oldest recipient of the Bharat Ratna. That was the year 1958. 1958. In 1958, Dhondo Keshav Karve, Bhagwan Das 1955, Mokshagundam Visvesvaraya 1955, Purushottam Das Tandon 1957. No, Purushottam Das 61. I'm sorry. 1961. Purushottam Das Tandon 1961. Govind Ballabh Pant 1957. 57. So 57, 61, 3 and 4, 54, and fifth one, 1958. 1958. See, in the first 2 years of the Bharat Ratna, 3 persons each received it. Like in 54, when it started, it was given to 3 persons: Chandrasekhara Venkataraman, Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, and Chakravarti Rajagopalachari. The next year in 55, it was given to Vishwesvaraya ji, Bhagwan Das ji, and Jawaharlal Nehru. Roger Federer has announced his retirement from tennis. He is from Switzerland. He was world number 1 for 310 weeks, 310 weeks, of which for 237 consecutive weeks he was world number 1. 237 consecutive weeks he was world number 1, and that's a record. That's a record. He has won 20 major Grand Slams. Now, what are Grand Slams? There are 4 tennis tournaments called the Grand Slams that make the Grand Slam: the Australian Open, the French Open, the Wimbledon, and the Australian Open. And the US Open. Australian Open, French Open, Wimbledon, and US Open. Okay, these 4 are called the Grand Slam events, the highest events in tennis. And you also need to know that he has won 20 of these. 20, including 8 Wimbledon titles. 8 Wimbledon titles, my friends. but he also won only one French Open. Only one French Open singles tournament, singles title. Okay, and he has always had admirers from in all parts of the world. I deeply admire Roger Federer. Very, very hardworking, down to earth, simple man. Extraordinary skill. Which of the following hosted the first Shunya conference, Shunya forum to commemorate the first anniversary of India's zero pollution e-mobility campaign? Niti Aayog, not much to discuss here. Greenpeace India. Greenpeace is London-based international environmental organization. FICCI is the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. If you want to write that, Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Okay. President Sanjeev Mehta. President Sanjeev Mehta. Sanjeev Mehta. Next. NASSCOM. National Association for Software and Service Companies. National Association of Software and Service Companies. Right. Chairperson Krishnan Ramanujam. It's a chairperson. Next, President Debjani Ghosh. Debjani Ghosh. Debjani. Debjani Ghosh. 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 The last one, Center for Science and Environment, was started by, Sunita ji, and she is said to be the person behind this entire, they came out with this report about the sugar quantity and pesticides especially pesticides in cola drinks, Pepsi Cola, in Coke and all that stuff. Yeah, she came out with that, Pepsi. With which bank has the Chennai-based Billionaire Venture Incubation signed an MOU to facilitate investment in startups through a special purpose vehicle. DBS Bank, Development Bank of Singapore. Development Bank of Singapore is a Singapore-based bank, one of the world's leading banks. It's headed by an Indian person of Indian origin, Piyush Gupta. Piyush Gupta is a CEO. Piyush Gupta. IDBI Bank, Rakesh Sharma. Naresh Kumar, who stood the Indian tennis scene like a colossus, passed away recently. Okay, this is Naresh Kumar. Okay, now he was a quarterfinalist at Wimbledon once, and in doubles he had come to the semifinals 4 times, I think. No, he was a quarterfinalist in the doubles tournament at Wimbledon on 4 occasions. And coming to the 4th round was his biggest achievement in the Wimbledon in the singles tournament. You need to know that he was also the captain of the Indian Davis Cup team 1989 to 1993. Between 1989 and 1993, he was the captain of Indian Davis Cup team. He was given the Dronacharya Award, which is given to the best coaches. He was given the Dronacharya Award in the year 2000. That time, she became the first tennis coach to be given the Dronacharya Award. First tennis coach to receive the Dronacharya Award, Naresh Kumar, year 2000. Which of the following launched Doordarshan and YouTube services titled Dur Se Namaste, a new television series that promotes healthy behaviors in a post-pandemic world? Okay, UNICEF and US Agency for International Development. I did not get there. Doordarshan started in 1959. 1959. Doordarshan started in 1959. Color TV came in 1982. Yes, there was no color between 1959 and 82. Okay, I think cable TV came in 91. Cable TV came in 91. So that's one. And second thing you need to understand that Doordarshan is a government of India body. It's owned by the government of India. Yeah. I think we discussed all these choices except for the one which is not important from the exam point of perspective. Which country will host the ninth session of the governing body of the International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources or Food and Agriculture from 19th September 2022? It would be India, New Delhi. Yeah, New Delhi. To be precise, New Delhi will host the governing body of International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources of Food and Agriculture in September. In September this year. So, in fact, it started actually, you could say that. So, this is being organized by the Food and Agricultural Organization. You could write this. Organized by Food and Agricultural Organization. Food and Agriculture Organization. Next point. Theme of or motto. Theme of International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources. International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources. Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture. Dash. What is the theme? Celebrating the guardians of crop diversity. Celebrating the guardians of crop diversity. Crop diversity. Crop diversity. Okay. See, this International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources was adopted by the FAO way back in 2001. And every year it's been happening. So this Thailand's Prime Minister has been suspended. Thailand's Prime Minister's name is Prayut Chan-o-cha. You could write this. Thailand PM or suspended PM dash Prayut 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 Chan-o-cha CHAN hyphen O hyphen CHA Prayut Chan-o-cha. Okay. Prayut Chan-o-cha. He has been suspended by the Thailand Supreme Court. Okay. Spanish Prime Minister is Pedro Sanchez. Pedro, P-E-D-R-O. Pedro Sanchez. S-A-N-C-H-E-Z. S-A-N-C-H-E-Z. Next. To which nation did Uzbekistan recently hand over the returning presidency of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization? India. India is going to host the 2023 summit of SCO. 2023 SCO summit will be held in India. Okay. Now, if you want to write SCO, and I will interpret the map for you. SCO, you could write Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Underline that first one. 8 members dash you write this. China, first four, write the first four. China, India, Russia, Pakistan. Next, Kazakhstan. KAZAKHSTAN. Kazakhstan, Tajikistan. 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 comma, Uzbekistan. It's there in the question. Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan. 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 Okay? Kyrgyzstan. 8 members. Next. Iran. Iran will become a member only in 2023. Only after April 2023. Only after April 2023. See, in August 2021, Iran signed a deal to become a full member of SCO. While the deal has been signed, a lot of formality has to be completed. A lot of formalities have to be completed. This effectively means that it will not become a member of the SCO till April 2023. Next, at the latest SCO meet in Uzbekistan, another country called Belarus, you could write this, Belarus membership has started. Membership accession, ACC ESSION, accession. Belarus membership accession started in September 2022. At the SCO meet in Uzbekistan. So 8 will become 10 by the end of 2023. Okay, next, write this. I think you don't really need this, but anyway, right? Observers dash Mongolia. You see this here, light green. Mongolia, Afghanistan, and what is this? Belarus. Belarus anyway make a member. So next, in this yellow, you see this yellow here, these are all dialogue partners, right? Dialogue partners dash Egypt, 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 comma, Turkey, TURKIYE, Turkey, comma, Saudi Arabia, comma, you see this here, Qatar, Qatar, comma, Nepal, comma, Sri Lanka, and Cambodia, CAMBODIA, Cambodia. That's all from me, my friends, and apologies. At times my eyes must have blinked hard, or they might have remained static because my head's bursting. Happens, the body sometimes does not respond well. Have a lot of fun this weekend and every day of your life. Please make sure you learn. Stay curious, push yourself very hard in life. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much, my friends.